Yeah, I mean, obviously coming from an R&B background, a lot of my style, if I had to put maybe a title on, I would say I'm like 10 or 2, maybe. And basically just a lot of my style is based on very smooth and a lot of runs and, you know, really, really cool cadences. You know what I mean? But very heavily harmony based, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm very big on harmony and stuff.
For sure. Same thing, my style is definitely a lot of harmonies. I think that's what makes our sounds so great together.
Right, yeah.
My style is more lazy. I don't do as many runs as he does, but my style is like smooth and like a lazier sound. Not lazy in a bad way, but just the way I sing is just, so lazy.
There's a little baritone in there
right,
too.
Yeah, baritone,
you know what I mean?
Tenor.
It's dope though, it's dope.
Yeah, for sure.
Not at the moment,
Nope.
but we're always open. So if you're out there, I'll let your boys. It actually just organically happened on its own, to be honest with you. It wasn't a situation where we came in and just said to ourselves, we want to make this particular type of style. It basically just matured into what it is now as we got to know each other as people and as an artist in general. You know what I mean? The more we work with each other, the more we know what we like, what we don't like, and we just feed off each other and ultimately ended up, you know, with the paradise sound that we have now.
As you start figuring out your sound as an individual artist, you realize that the sound kind of finds you in a way.
Exactly.
As cliche as that might sound. But, you know, country artists, they can't really like do rap. It doesn't make any sense. So it's like you kind of just gotta dive in and find your sound.
Yeah.
And
A lot of
forward.
trial and error. A lot
Right.
of trial and error.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had a few experiences in Iowa City, Iowa. That's where I'm from, Iowa. And to be honest, I was like an opener for some no-name headliner, and it was rough. It was rough, I'm not gonna lie. But I got my feet a little bit more wet in Chicago. We had a couple different venues that my school put on that we were able to perform and show off our work. And that was definitely a lot better. It made me feel more welcoming and, I don't know, get out of my comfort zone. But I would love to just play around the world, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'd love to play everywhere. I don't know a lot of venues, but I definitely would like to play the Red Rock. That would be sweet. Colorado.
Oh, that's a good stadium. Yeah.
I would like to play
American Airlines, Arena.
House of Blues, Chicago. That'd be dope too.
Yeah.
If they'd have us. So.
I mean, me, same here. Not much experience really as far as performing. I mean, I made a name for myself with the little buzz that I did have when I really started doing music and started really getting good at it. Basically just doing shows for local celebrities and collaborating, you know, with them. And when I say celebrities, I don't mean like A-listers, just like hood celebrities, so to speak. Like rappers and stuff. Very popular, well-known rappers in the hood, you know what I mean? Basically doing a lot of collaborations with them, and then from that, you know, I get invited to these clubs to help perform their songs with them and stuff like that. So I got a lot of experience with that, and even with my solo stuff when I started writing songs on my own. I went and tested the waters, and you know, whether it be nightclubs or bars throughout the city and stuff like that. But like you said, as far as big venues, I'm looking forward to performing in all of those big venues. Not at the moment. Like I said, this project is fresh. You know, we're literally working on a release. And so I think once that gets rolling, then you got the whole snowball effect. We'll go from there. Exactly.
I've done a lot of covers. Obviously, coming from a newer generation, like that's how everybody gets their in. Is like either YouTube, a game show, or they just get struck by lightning. But straight up. But I just believe that I just liked creating original content better than doing covers. I just didn't feel fulfilled when I made a cover, and I just felt like I was stealing someone else's work. And it's not. I'm not opposing anybody to do that or not to do that. It just wasn't me, and I just wanted to challenge myself more by doing more originals and getting better at that, because I knew that would get me further financially in the music business for sure.
Pretty much how I feel.
Yeah.
Your boys.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we take pride in is basically our songwriting. And one thing what makes us work so great with each other when it comes to our songwriting is that we take so much pride in it, but there's no egos involved. Whether I come up with the hook, he comes up with the hook, I come up with a verse, it doesn't matter. You know, the ultimate goal is what's more important, which is making the best product and best record
Whatever
possible.
sounds hot, sounds hot.
Every single line you hear in this project, every word, every harmony is done by yours truly.
Relationships.
Definitely
Trial and error with relationships. That's pretty much it.
Relationships.
Tough situations.
All the trials and tribulations the relationship actually goes through. You got your sad songs, you got the baby come back songs, you got your got your bedroom songs. I mean, we pretty much cover it all for the most part. For sure. I mean, like you just touched on it. As you get older, you get more mature, you get wiser. Things change, people change.
Right.
So of course the music is going to evolve as well. The topic is going to be different. So yeah, I definitely anticipate our songs to change as well. You want us?
I got this one. So it's either one of two ways, I would say. So either one of us, we always find a fire beat to write our songs to. You got to be influenced by something. So we find an instrumental that we really like. We both obviously have to agree on it. One of us either creates the hook or creates some type of melody, or the second way is we just get in the booth and freestyle something. That's pretty much how we wrote everything, is a freestyle. And
to be honest with you, sometimes what's funny, sometimes we'll literally call each other and be like, hey, I got this idea, with this topic. That's how I picture him sounding. Hey, I got this idea. So I'll be like, what it is? And he'll tell me the topic and we'll just go from there. And when we get to the studio and we link up with each other, we'll brainstorm and we'll, sing a couple of lines. Or even, I know me personally, sometimes I'm riding around in my car by myself, I may get inspired by something and I'll just record a line. And the line will basically say something on the effect of, girl, you like that, or something like that. And I just record it real quick. As stupid as it sounds, it ends up manifesting into an actual song. So. Truthfully speaking, I don't really rehearse. I don't do any vocal warm-ups. I kind of train myself throughout the years, throughout that day if I'm getting ready to record, and to basically keep my vocals intact to the point where they're ready to perform. So I wouldn't say we basically
we don't rehearse together, but we definitely, I'll go over the scales or whatever, getting in the mood for recording, stay away from dairy, drink the tea, all that good stuff to help the vocals.
Exactly.
Obviously the day of or the week of recording, but yeah, I'd say that's
pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, the evolution of our sound, my sound specifically, is night and day from where I started. I started off pitch and just couldn't do much singing wise, didn't know how to write, didn't know how to structure songs. Went to school, that was the biggest thing, is getting the education. And then the mentorship when I moved down to Florida was the biggest thing for sure. Opened my mind to a lot of different things, not just with singing and songwriting, but with the business side and just how to sell and promote your music more. I would say night and day. It's all about repetition, it's all about practice, That's the biggest thing in my eyes. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel the same way. To go in even more detail, our project itself, we've evolved immensely compared to when we first started.
Yeah.
For example, just on the engineering side, because a lot of people will later find out like we're engineers as well. So that was a huge help to us in getting our project to where it is now. You know, basically knowing where the vocals need to sit inside the, you know, the beat, and knowing, you know, where to put the harmonies, and, you know, I mean, when it's having too much, you know, low end on a certain vocals or low end on a certain instrument on a beat. It's a multitude of things that we've learned, you know, while our time here, you know, and learning from each other, which really, you know, took us to the next level. And I think one of the most key parts for getting this project done and getting to where it is now is time management. Like us being artists, when you're an artist, like you're more so focused on just being an artist, just want to record. So we basically, by ourselves, add a lot more tasks and a lot more things on the plate, in the sense that, you know, we wear multiple hats. We're songwriters, not only vocalists, but we're vocal producing each other as well. So like a lot of people don't know, like with this project, we record our own vocals as well. So, you know, as we're writing songs, we didn't have to put on another hat. Okay, I'm an engineer now. He's in the studio, I'm recording him, and vice versa. While I'm, you know, recording, you know, laying vocals, he was recording me. But yeah, like to go back to the whole time management point though, we were kind of bit all over the place. We knew what we wanted to do. We knew the songwriting and all that stuff. We had that down pat, but it was just so much. It wasn't until Miller Demesman, our mentor, again, who stepped in and played an executive producer role and really actually taught us how to be disciplined, taught us about time management and meeting deadlines. So I think that was a crucial part to getting us to the point that we are now. So for sure, I think that's how we evolved, per se, to answer the original question, from where we were in the beginning into where we are now. If I can say for me, and I'm sure he would agree with this, the biggest hurdle for me, especially when I first started, was thinking that as long as I record great music, somehow, some way, somebody would just fly down here and just sign me. Like, that's like so furthest from the truth. And that's one thing I had to like really, you know, teach myself to say, listen, I don't care how great your song is. It means nothing if nobody knows it exists.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, you know, so when you create these songs, you know what I mean, you gotta build relationships, you gotta connect yourself with people that can actually help you get those songs out there. And don't be afraid to put them out there. That's one of the things, the biggest challenges for me, is because of that fear of me of not knowing what other people are gonna think when they hear it. You know what I mean? And so I found myself recording a lot of records, but never really releasing them. You know what I mean? So that would be one of the biggest advice I'd give to people. Like, you know, yeah, it's cool to try to sharpen your skills and want to put out the best product possible, but you don't want to cling on to it too long to the point where you end up never releasing it.
Perfectionist.
You know, yeah, exactly. I'm a perfectionist as well, but it's like there's a thin line between being a perfectionist and a procrastination. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you definitely don't want to fall into that. And another thing for me, if I can add, with this, obviously when you're first starting out, if you don't come from an affluent background, you know, your parents aren't wealthy and all that stuff, is the whole finance issue. You know, it's trying to balance this 9 to 5, how do I live my life, you know what I mean, pay these bills, while at the same time trying to pay for studio time and, you know what I mean, you know, and basically front all of these, you know, these projects and stuff I have to do, and how do I support and fund my passion?
Right.
It's a lot of things. I would say number one thing is you gotta say to yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of sacrifice that's involved. You gotta be willing to, you know, go work those extra hours, even when you're done from work, to go to the studio and stay there till 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever the case may be, whatever your schedule is. You gotta put that dedication in order to see it through and follow through. You know what I mean? It's gonna be some bumps in the road. It's gonna get hard. It's gonna be days where you be like, you know what? You know, how am I gonna do this? You know, this is not really paying the bills per se. So it's hard, but you gotta stay focused, and it helps if you have a person you collaborate with that's like-minded, the same like Brooks. And it's good to bounce ideas off each other and help each other, not just musically, but just in life in general. So.
Right. Just to touch on what he said, like the biggest challenge for me personally is my schedule is just crazy
exactly.
with my full-time job. Like I don't do this full-time.
Exactly.
We do this part-time.
That's a scary thing.
It is. We're able to create the music we have part-time, and that, like I said, like that's the biggest challenge is working around all those family issues or financial issues or whatever else you got going on in your life. That's the music is like put on the back burner a lot of the time. And
even relationships. You get in relationships, that's a whole other beast within itself, trying to manage that. Balance, having to say to yourself, okay, I know I need to dedicate myself to my craft, but I can't dedicate too much of my time to the point where I'm alienating my loved ones, or my relationship. Because that, so it's just all of those things. You just have to remain focused, and you got to keep reminding yourself the goal at the end of the day is to be great. So you got to do by any means necessary.
It's all about balance, baby.
Yeah, balance.
It's
a balancing act for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like I touched on earlier, the biggest thing for me was just financially, not being able to support the music as much as I want to, because I'm trying to support my own, lifestyle, and got bills and stuff like that. So I think with me, it took for me to, again, ask myself, how important is this to you? If it's really important, if this is like a priority for you, you have to make time and you have to put money aside for this. So I would say budgeting. I got to the point where I started trying to budget for my music. And that mean working extra overtime at my job and using that money, or getting a second job just to support, use those finances to support my music. And time management, I think, is key, for sure. I think that's one of the things that's most important, is basically making time. I've been told a long time ago, when you care about something enough, you'll make time for it.
That's perfect.
You know what I mean? So it's having that mentality to say to yourself, okay, this is important to me. It deserves, my time in some capacity. So
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, that's perfect.
I would say we're seeking both. But I wouldn't use the word seeking though, because that would imply like that's the ultimate goal. Right. That's all we want. No. We just have a strong belief. We just believe in ourselves and our abilities in this project so much that we think eventually that will come.
Yeah.
But I would say seeking, if anything, will just, like I said, is to help others, you know what I mean, and get out there and really have our music, go globally and reach, fans all across the globe.
Make a comfortable living, doing exactly what we love.
What we love, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.